friend who has it all figured out says don't get left behind. Guess what I said? Fuck yeah, get out of my face. 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 I used to write a love song for that girl of mine, but then one day she never gave me the day or time. I worked my ass off, tell me what you really think. It's good that you went back watching anime. Subtlety isn't really my strong suit, but maybe this song will get my point through. Don't you ever try to take what I make. You're all bitches, and guess what I fucking said? Fuck yeah, get out of my face. 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 All right, it's WKJB The Rhythm. We're taking phone calls all day to hear what's on your mind. Caller number 1, you're on the air. What seems to be on your mind? Bunch of weaves, leftist dweebs, crazy assholes always telling me what I should be, and when they're a sexual disaster, watching an overstimulated TV, dinner, and choking down the opinions head fed to them by who knows fucking who. And the fucking resident boomers are no goddamn better telling me what's better for me while they cash in their government checks and fail the fucking youth. And don't get me started on fucking idol groups. Fuck yeah, get out of my face. 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 Fuck yeah, get out of my face.
Oh, hello, hello. How are we this evening, everyone? My goodness, it's good to be back again with another weekday stream. I am your host, Ducky Please, and welcome. Welcome Today is August the 1st, 2023, and we got some stuff I want to talk about. So a lot's been happening in the fighting game sphere today, and I wanted to get with a good friend of mine, Mr. Justin, aka Kamikaze Bitch, to talk some fighting game stuff, see what's going on, share opinions, discuss some things. We both got a lot to talk about, so we go ahead and excuse me, munch on this pizza really quick. Let's get over to our desktop screen here. Hello. It is I am here. You know, I thought I had a thing here. Let me go ahead and get that. Whoopsie. Must be a different one. Hold on. Here. Yeah, let me just go ahead and unmute here. We'll go over to the just chatting screen. There we go. This is better. This is better. This is much better. All right, let's see here. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Can I be heard? Hello? Hold on. That might be me. 1 second, people. We got a little bit of audio trouble. There we go. That's something that I forgot to fix. Try now. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, yeah, there we go. Okay. My bad. The permissions were set up bad on this channel.
Do we still need push to talk, or can I switch back?
No, you can switch back to normal now. You're fine.
Okay, let me give me 1 second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we are.
Cool.
My bad. Again, that was poorly set up, but I've got it. I'll get it fixed. Hello.
Oh, strict. So professional. What's up, brother? What's popping?
Oh, not much. Just another day, another dollar. Spent a day at the grindstone working like a dog, answering for phones and whatnot. And now I'm here, and I'm ready.
Time to get down to brass tacks.
Time to get down to brass tacks. So, we got some stuff to go over because apparently today was a bit eventful.
Last couple days have been pretty eventful.
Yeah, it's been honestly super interesting. Because we've got quite a few. We got some news going on. We've got some controversy in the mix.
Chun Li's trending. I wonder why. She's popular, right?
Oh yeah, very popular character. And you know, just some shit. I'm gonna just be honest. It's just some shit going on. But let's start with the good. I want to start off on a positive note here. You and I are very big Virtua Fighter fans.
Very much so.
Very much.
Unfortunately, Ducky, not a really great way to play it online.
There is not. No. Now, with the esports version of Virtua Fighter that came out, what was it, roughly a year and a half ago? Or something like that?
We're probably close to 2 years now.
Almost 2 years ago. Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown was released, and we had some there was some really good feedback on the game. It was released for free on PS Plus, if I remember correctly. And even when I was living with our friend Logan, we had some friends over. We all played, and we had a decent time. I enjoy the game. You and I, when we can, we try and play it. Try to introduce another fighting game friend of mine to it for a little bit. But again, the internet connection wasn't the best, even through Flycast. The rollback wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
which
super
we'd
nice.
have decent matches on Flycast, and for a time we even had decent matches on the PS3 emulator netcode, but it just got worse and worse over time. And that game is so strict about second to second decisions that you actually need as many frames as you can get.
Yeah, as when you're trying to like duck things or look for things or trying to make certain moves, it makes it really difficult when you don't have a stable connection when you're playing against someone online. But there was an interview today that was posted today, I should say, from Gamer Braves. Seiji Aoki, which, if correct me if I'm wrong, is he the lead producer? Yeah,
He's
the
like
chief producer.
he's the chief producer. He's Mr. Virtua Fighter as of now, taking over Yu Suzuki's place.
Yeah, he stated that future Virtua Fighter games would need to have rollback as the game goes on sale, which shocked the hell out of me because that implies that they are working on more Virtua Fighter games, or they have plans to or wants to release a new Virtua Fighter game, which is fucking
Now,
sick.
with these numbers that we got from I don't think they've officially announced them, but they've kind of low key talked about them. Pretty much the downloads that Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown got was way beyond anything they could have imagined. Like people want to play this game.
Yeah, it's a good, solid game. It is the grandfather of all 3D fighting games. Like it predates Tekken, it predates Soul Calibur, it predates Dead or Alive. It is the very first one. Like it is an important and integral part to fighting game history as a whole. Not to mention, the game is just a ton of fun. It's super simple to get into, very easy to understand at a basic level, and
But impossible to master.
yeah, like for some small stuff or just trying to account for everything, you're not going to be able to. But like, the game has depth and fun, and it's a good time to play. So if you haven't played a Virtua Fighter game, I highly urge you to go out and try one. It's really super fun. All the characters play completely differently, and it's if you have a PS4 or a PS5 and you can play the Ultimate Showdown version or the esports version, I highly recommend that you do. You'll have a blast, trust me. So, in this article, we're just gonna try and get right into it. They caught up with Aoki-san from his appearance at Evo Japan, because if I remember correctly, Evo Japan had Virtua Fighter 5 on its main stage.
Yes, with, in my personal opinion, the best competition that whole event, because we're talking something unprecedented when it comes to all these fighting games. Like, okay, Strive, cool, Street Fighter 5, cool, like lots of years of competition, especially with 5, right, and Tekken 7, not to mention that. But we're talking 15 to 20 plus years of not only game development, but strategy development, but also Yomi from these players that have all been playing each other for who knows how long.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, go look at the VODs. The matches are insane. It'll give you a really good idea of what the really committed, high-level Virtua Fighter is, and it is such an interesting watch if you understand fighting games. Even if you don't, the visual spectacle of them, beating the crap out of each other is fantastic, and the game looks amazing, too.
It looks insane.
So, super, super excited for that. They actually did ask him how he felt about seeing Virtua Fighter 5 on main stage at EVO that year. He said he enjoyed the electrifying atmosphere, and that's the only time you can really experience something like that is at events like that, which I very much agree with. Excuse me. he hopes that he can attend Evo Las Vegas in the future, because I think Virtua Fighter is going to be a side tournament.
I believe so. There's a handful of side tournaments at
Yeah.
Evo main this year.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if Aoki-san is going to be at Evo this weekend, but we'll keep an eye out. And apparently this guy has a lot of love for Virtua Fighter, which I respect. I'm not saying that some devs don't love the games that they work on, but it makes it easier to form a connection when you know that the people that are working on your game love or respect the game just as much as you do. So,
It was a really good idea to. He kind of goes in the article about his development of going into 5 Ultimate Showdown and like the process of like, did they learn anything from quote unquote making it, even though it's technically just a remake with the same frame data and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that there was some stuff they learned and everything, but the idea is that they just wanted to give fans a way to play it with a fresh new coat of paint in the Dragon engine, which they made all those models and assets from scratch.
Yeah,
which is
that's
crazy.
Insane. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And he goes on to say that so the question here is, admittedly, more fighting games have sprung up since the last mainline Virtua Fighter title. As a big esports game, what can you guys do about winning over new and returning players to invest in your game? Seiji goes on to say, while it is important to create content for fighting game fans, I think it's also important to create content that viewers or newcomers to the fighting game genre can enjoy. For example, I can't play soccer, but I love watching soccer. I'd like to create content that will interest those watching the game and make them fans. So, definitely agree with where he's coming from. But as we were saying just earlier, like, the onboarding process for Virtua Fighter is not that difficult to understand as a concept. It is 3 buttons. You have punch, kick, and guard.
He goes in to explain some of that later on in the article. And they pretty much say, like, with all these new fighting games having very aggressive focused mechanics, what would your intentions be? Would you add any of these mechanics going into a new Virtua Fighter? And pretty much to summarize, he says, Virtua Fighter started off almost as a fighting game simulator, or like a fighting simulator, where the combat is very straightforward. It makes sense to watch. It's like based off real fighting. One of the first games to actually use mocap. Like they were that dedicated in Virtua Fighter 1. So he said, if we are going to make a new one, or any game, if it's Virtua Fighter 6 or Virtua Fighter whatever, they're going to keep it to formula, which I really respect, because he actually says he thinks fighting games are getting too complicated, but not in a command sense. Like, we say a lot of stuff with like modern mode and like auto combos and stuff like that. He's not talking about that. He's talking about there's so many mechanics. And like, as much as I love Street Fighter 6 and I love it to death, it's exhausting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Street Fighter. It's super
exhausting. So they want to keep the core RPS of, dodge, grab, and attack in the game as is, and that's enough depth to like really get you going. And if we get another Virtua Fighter, it's not going to be like a Tekken 7 to Tekken 8 situation where they're adding a bunch of new mechanics and everything. It's just going to be Virtua Fighter, and I think that would solidify their place in the fighting game landscape as this is now the true legacy fighter.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
In summation, I want to talk about this part where where they do mention netcode, because Virtua Fighter 5, the current one on PS4, doesn't quite use rollback netcode. It uses something called impact netcode, which is based on servers, which is an idea to be sure, and I have played with it myself, and it does work pretty well, I'll admit. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it's absolutely not the worst. It's definitely no delay based, which is fantastic. We appreciate that. But he does say, the question is, one comment many players outside of Japan had about Ultimate Showdown was about the game's netcode. considering how almost every major title either has announced a new entry with rollback or is getting a new entry with it, did you ever consider doing the same for Virtua Fighter? Seiji goes on to say, since online matches are a core component of fighting games nowadays, netcode support has become absolutely essential. As you know, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is a remake based on Virtual Final 5 Final Showdown. When Final Showdown was released on the Xbox 360 and PS3, the concept of rollback was still not very well known. So I developed and implemented my own mechanism to reduce delays. The netcode in the latest title is similar in nature. However, I believe that implementing rollback will be absolutely necessary when developing future titles. Which is what got me all excited for this in the first place. So he mentions the Impact netcode for the latest title, which is Final Showdown or Ultimate Showdown.
Yeah.
But he says it will be absolutely necessary when developing future titles, which gives a lot of hope that Virtua Fighter has something in the works, hopefully greenlit, or they're talking to somebody to help get this made, because it has been a long time since we've had a Virtua Fighter game.
I believe, if I'm not incorrect, the original version of Virtua Fighter 5 released in 2006.
Wow, 2006. That is
a
hell a long time.
Extremely long time.
Like, good. 2000. Do you remember what you were doing in 2006?
What was that, middle school? Like, jeez, man, I don't freaking know.
Yeah. I believe that was middle school for me as well. That was.
I think I just got the Wii.
Yeah, because I didn't go into high school until 2008. I was in middle school. Good Lord.
Yeah, we were on the cusp of it.
Yeah, that was years ago. That was ages ago.
That's almost 2 decades ago, yes. Ducky. Almost 2 decades ago.
Almost 20 years between entries. I am really hoping that we get some news about a new Virtua Fighter very, very soon. Or at least, please, to hold us over. Bring 5 Ultimate Showdown to PC.
All those comments, all those comments in the thread, or like in the Twitter, was like, "Where's Virtua Fighter 5 on PC? Where's it at? And what's really funny is that he actually mentions that he's fought to have Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown in the Yakuza games. He's actually fought to have those in there, and through modding, you can just play the game, the pretty much the whole arcade experience through, like, it's there. It's the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, it's already there on PC in its own weird way, right? It's just a matter of, like, I don't care if it's the same netcode. Just give us something to dabble in.
Something. Something would be appreciated, but I understand that these things take time and that these things have a lot of hoops to jump through that we necessarily don't have full control over. So, I will be patient for now, Aoki-san, but please, I beg of you, whatever you can do to speed this up, I will help in any way that I can as a loyal fan. If you guys are interested in Virtua Fighter 5, this is not a sponsored segment, by the way. The game is on sale for the summer sale for PS4 right now. It is 50% off until August 16th. So please go pick up a copy. If you have PS Plus, it is free to download, I still think. I am unsure. If not, pick it up. It's on sale. Please play Virtua Fighter. Go to the Discord. Go anywhere. Have an experience in a game that is simple rock, paper, scissors, but an infinite pool of depth. You will thank me for it later.
When it comes to resources, there's not another game on this planet that has more people, more resources, and everything to get you to play. I've said this before in the past, my Virtua Fighter players want you to play. They're not there to gatekeep. They're so ready to teach the next generation of Virtua Fighter players because they love this game to death and they just want more people to play.
Yeah, I definitely think that people should give Virtua Fighter a shot. Now, let's move in. We started with the good. Let's move into the bad. So,
The buff.
yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
there's been a hubbub in the community today.
Something like that.
So if you haven't heard, or if you haven't been on Twitter, or the website formerly known as Twitter, then you may not be aware of the Chun-Li mod scandal that is currently happening. So there was a tournament recently, an online tournament. I don't remember the exact name of the tournament. It honestly does not matter that much.
No.
Because that's not the most important details. But one of the TOs that was hosting the tournament had a certain nude mod installed for a certain Chun-Li that they forgot was installed, and showed the whole stream Chun-Li's giblets just out in
Not
the open.
not even a string bikini.
Not even
like
just nude, just areolas and labia, just out there.
It was when I saw that, my friend actually broke the news to me.
Really?
He's a really good friend of mine, a long childhood friend, and he always sends me stuff, and sometimes it's hit or miss. You know, just I humor him sometimes. Sometimes it's good, and he sends me this, and he's like, "Dude, look at this," and I watch it, and it's just showing the bracket, and it goes in the title of the tweet said, "Man, they keep giving Chun-Li too many costumes," and it goes in, and it just hangs on there. And it's almost like the way they're playing, they're not playing. It's almost like they know immediately they've gotten caught in the act, and it stays there for a solid like 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then fades out and goes, okay.
Yeah. So old Gooner there, we'll call them, had the nude mod installed, showed everyone on stream, and you know, we laughed it off. You know, the depraved horniness aside, there was obviously an uproar about it. People made jokes, and then Games Radar got involved. So if you aren't aware of Games Radar, they write game articles, game journalism. Ew, I know. But what is this but not game journalism in a video format? The real heat comes from this Games Radar entry where now you can't see it anymore. The author has gone back and edited the post and removed this, but there was some shoddy journalism done here where the author of this particular article name dropped not the name of the TO who had the mod installed, but the player, and blamed them for having the nude mod installed.
Oh, no.
Yes.
They don't understand how any of this works.
No. So, if you aren't aware, mods are one-sided for Street Fighter. You only can see mods for yourself. The only time someone else would see a mod is if they have the same mod installed in the same way on their computer. The Chun-Li player, which I'm not going to use any names just for the sake of anonymity, and honestly, it's not that hard to find, so if you're really interested, you can go find it yourself. The Chun-Li player was blamed for having the mod installed, and the article completely just threw it all on them. So, once the tweet got around, because of course it did, the Chun-Li player in question sent out a tweet, a public tweet saying, hey, you know, so-and-so who wrote the article, I saw your article, this isn't fair, I don't have the mod installed, you have until a certain time to remove the article, or I'm suing you for defamation.
Oh, man, dude.
Which he would be completely, or they would be completely in their right to do.
No, that's straight up slander.
That is straight, because it would be one thing if they dropped their handle, like their online name, I mean, the shoddy journalism aside, where you didn't do your due diligence to at least pin the act on the right person, bro, come on. But to drop their full government name in your article with a nude mod and a controversy, that is dangerous. You can't play with people's lives like that.
No, that's extremely, extremely irresponsible.
You can't do that. And I am so lucky. I am so lucky that I have never been put in a situation like that. My heart goes out to the person that was involved in this, because that I can't imagine having to deal with that and then have all of these Twitter goons in your DMs, or on your page or whatever. However, any backlash they may have gotten inadvertently, or what if they were applying for a job, or trying to do something, and they googled and the organization, whoever, googled that person's name that day and saw it in this article. They would.
I think you should still sue for damages.
Honestly, the only fight I want to see is in court. That's all I'm saying. This is not one of those things you can handle with the first to 10. Hey there, welcome to the stream. We're just talking about the new Chun-Li mod scandal. But yeah, they straight up. So now in the article, it has been edited. It says August 1st, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. A previous version of this article attributed the mod to a specific player, which appears to be inaccurate. We regret this error. Now, I did go on the accused player's Twitter, and he did state that it had been changed, but he would want an actual apology written, which well within his right to demand for, because
he's asking for the bare minimum here.
Yeah. I can't believe they would just use their whole name like that. Also, in summation, the TO who stated it also said that the mod is not removed. Nothing like this will ever happen again. We ask for understanding from the excellent community that we are all a part of. We expect Games Radar to put down their misleading article about one of your bleeding talents, since all the fault was ours. And yeah, so I didn't actually know about the article until St. Cola retweeted it. So, and he straight up called him out for it. But yeah, really nothing more than that. Just a little spice to end the day on. Wait, what mod? Here, I will post.
What mod?
Yeah. So here is the article for you, Hiwa. I'll post this if you want to read the article. But here is the status in question. 1 second. I just had it up for prosperity's sake. By the way, also side note, that bookmark of the nude mod, or that tweet of the nude mod, mm-hmm. It has 5.6 thousand bookmarks. You people are depraved.
Just look it up.
You guys are fucking disgusting.
Look, with Street Fighter 6 looking almost real, obviously it's very stylistic. It's not quite. And Tekken's more realistic, but it's also very stylistic. Bro, just look it up, man. Look at what's wrong with you, man. No tact.
It's, oh boy.
If you really need to see it that bad, man,
just come on. That's also what I don't understand. Who is using this? Why are you gooning during your this is why you people don't win shit, because you're too busy getting hard in training mode because you have too many fucking nude mods installed and you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself. Of course you keep dropping the combo. Your stick is tilted at a 45-degree angle because your dick is pushing it up.
You be playing on hitbox and you're still a stick player, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you fucking come on, come on. It's not that serious. It is
So,
not that serious.
as someone who actually dabbled in it just to see, because like when Street Fighter V came out, it's extremely easy to download and install these mods. Like it's literally a matter of putting the file in the right place, and there are even applications that allow a manager, which is like the flip and switch of a button, that allows you to like turn them on and off, right? And so I'm like, hey, what's the easiest one I can get a hold of here in this thread? Okay, there's a jury one. I put it on, saw her pale ass body, and I was like, who's this for?
Right? Like, so I don't get. I just don't like. Is this like the depraved or like the horny version of I play better when I'm hard? Like those people are like I play better when I'm high.
It's something like that.
I play better when fully erect.
As a Baiken player, I don't have time to look at her cleavage, bro. I'm too busy focusing on Yozansen and trying to get a mix down in Blue RC. I don't have time to look at this.
See, thank you. Just like Cody said in that tweet, bro, I'm not playing fighting games to come. I'm not. I just, I'm not trying to shame anyone, really. It's a lack of understanding and a lack of it's not necessary. It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
It's but it's whatever. So that's all for the new Chun-Li segment. That's all I have that I want to discuss about it. I just wanted to bring it up very slightly, just because it's the funny thing for the day. For fighting games, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. So I'm fucking over it. I am fucking over it. But now let's get into something fun. I'm actually going to boot up the game for this because we're going to talk Rashid. Rashid's been out for what now?
Probably close to a week.
A week? 2 weeks?
I don't think quite 2 weeks. He was like the 24th.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was the 24th.
Yeah, so just a little over a week. Yeah. We're effectively, we have week 1 Rashid thoughts.
Yeah, so gosh, it feels like it's been so much longer though.
I know. God.
Let me get the game booted up here. I actually moved the game to my SSD, which I didn't realize I didn't have it on my SSD. So maybe I actually can play World Tour mode.
Actually boots up faster and runs better.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll have to give it a shot. Because I would like to actually do more in the game than just play ranked. Like, don't get me wrong, I do fiend rank sometimes, but it would be nice to play the video game portion of the video game.
As we're booting up and getting ready to talk about this, did you see we've been wondering what the phases meant because they've always mentioned ranking phases. For Street Fighter.
I did see they have an ELO system now, which I think is super cool for those who are going for it. And it's not like League of Legends ELO system either, but this actually gives players a reason to compete and stuff. And this was in tournament. Yes, it was in tournament that this happened. I'm again, it baffles me. And I just hope that people get the help that they deserve.
Please.
Please get help of any kind. I promise if you talk to people and, form connections and kiss a person that you really like, it'll change your life. ELO? Yeah, so what does ELO even stand for? I forgot. It's been so long since I even had to think of the ELO system. But basically,
yeah, go ahead. You probably know better than I do.
Basically, so once you reach the top rank, in like a game or a ladder or something, it helps calculate your skill ranking, basically. So let's say there are 3 players in the top 3, each have 1,500 points or so. that means they would be of equal skill level, as opposed to someone who has 800 points or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The ELO system just basically allows people to kind of vie for a top spot or a number one spot on a ladder, usually accompanied by some sort of rewards or promise of grandeur, or just bragging rights, which we all like bragging rights, right? We can't
really deny it, right?
Can't really deny that.
The issue is that when I was thinking of the ranking phases, I thought everybody was going to get smited down to nothing, to new challenger again, and a part of me didn't mind that, because I was thinking like, well, even if the little bit of status I got with some of these characters, like if I go back to 0, that means that like there's no reason to hold on to your precious diamond rank or whatever, platinum or whatever, just because like it's going to be gone. So you might as well just go full ham, because it's finite. I like when things are finite and it's like, oh, just do what you can. Hey, if you don't get it this time, who cares? We'll reset.
Yeah. It gives you, like, again, it gives those top players like the incentive to actually to keep playing and to challenge one another, and you get to see who can be truly the best within that set time. So let me see.
Yeah, the way they handled it was really interesting, because that's not the case. Pretty much, it doesn't do anything to anybody's rank. But the issue is at this point that getting to master rank, especially because of the placement matches, is more or less very, very fast to achieve. There are players who were only diamond in Street Fighter 5 that are now well into master rank. It's not quite the same, in my opinion, when it comes to the grind and everything. I think it's easier to get master rank in this game. However, the differences between master rank, because there's only one master rank, is that you have somebody that has like 30k points, and then you have like the true best talents of the game that have like up to 250,000 points. Like, they're not the same.
Yeah, no, they're not at all.
So this gives them an incentive to grind and get the legendary status for that ranking. And just gives the game more life, other than just like, oh, here I am, Trashbox, who's like the number one player in the world, and I've got the most points. So now that'll reset, and there'll be like a reason to like keep going and keep playing.
Yeah, which I appreciate, because I like seeing stuff like that for players that care, because there are people that care who really want that. And some people in Master Rank are using mono controls. Yeah, quite a few of them, actually. Like, and it also helps with like just overall like general like data of like characters that are strong or characters that are weak or etc. It's just good to have for everyone. So let's take a look here, because we've got Rashid. I haven't touched him much personally, but it's been about a week, and I think overall impressions of Rashid are pretty good. He's a strong character, but he isn't an overwhelming presence, which is what I was afraid of and what a lot of people were afraid of. But he's got very clearly defined strengths and weaknesses, and I really enjoy characters that have that as well. So let me put this here, and also I'm going to turn off my input history. There we go, just so we can have a pretty clear screen here. Keeping the frame data bar though, because we need that. So let's talk about some basic stuff for Rashid first. Movement is pretty fucking good. He's got a good walk speed. He's so bouncy. He's very bouncy. Okay, yeah, just from a visual perspective, his animations are fantastic. The way that
he's like the best character in the game when it comes to his model. I think is the best. His animation psychotic. The reason he has so many clothes on is because the fact that it doesn't look like a jumbled mess is like extremely impressive on Capcom's part.
Yeah, especially coming from Street Fighter 5, where clipping was a huge issue for costumes.
Yeah, a huge, massive issue.
So he looks fantastic. This gives me hope for the characters that are to come, and costumes as well. Because again, on my Evo bingo card, I've got the first wave of Street Fighter costumes down. I know they're coming. They have to be. They have to be.
They got on something.
Yeah. So like I said, movement speed, pretty good walk speed. Honestly, it seems slower than it does in Street Fighter V, but I think that that's okay because he does have other movement options. He has his run back, which is fantastic. He really gets the fuck over there. I don't think it's as fast as Ken's. I don't think
it's not as fast, but it's infinite.
Yeah. Is it? Can I just keep holding? Oh, he just stops. I think
Yeah, after a while, I'm sure you will. It's a lot more effective long range.
Yeah. But, still having a run over not having a run is great for a speedy character like this. He's got fantastic specials. His, what is this? Spinning Mixer, sorry. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Spinning Mixer is fantastic. You got the 3 angles, you got the horizontal, the semi-vertical, and then just the straight-up vertical. Not really like... So I know people have been having issues using it as an anti-air because you can't really use it reactively because it's active frame 6. So that...
In most standard anti-air cases, you can... But because it goes straight up, there's a certain range on it. I fought some Rashids that are able to use medium spinning mixer as an anti-air, but I'm not entirely sure the deal with that because I've never seen it. You know?
It's more preemptive. Like it's a kind of a hard call out because the medium mixer it starts at frame 8 actually. So there is that. So you do have to be a little on point with it. But what he does have with Heavy Mixer that a lot of characters don't have is he beats cross-ups with this pretty clean. So it's hard to cross this guy up because you always have the threat of spinning Mixer, and if you get hit by Mixer, you fucking die because you're in his win condition. So
something really interesting I noticed about his Heavy Mixer is that some issues. This was definitely like a Street Fighter 5 issue that I can at least account for. Is that if not every part hit, it would drop out funky. But I've had many situations to where like maybe the second or like latter hit hits, or maybe it's the first hit, but then it doesn't like hit correctly. It always seems to scoop at the last hit, so that like even if it's a weird angle, that last hit seems to be a little bit larger, just so like it doesn't drop unnecessarily. So I've had some really weird hits with spinning mixer. But it always seems to at least end with the final hit, so it counts as an anti-air.
Yeah.
Which is also where most of the damage is at in that attack to begin with.
Which is good, because, it helps with consistency. He's got his fireballs back, which these are still so good. They control fantastic angles on the screen. The light one going the furthest and the most horizontal, he can compete with most fireball characters. And then he can also hold them and charge them, which is a cool mechanic. It makes them stronger. It also, if you hold it up to the max, he gets a little whirlwind afterwards, which we'll go into that here in a little bit. Fireball is still good. EX Fireball is still very good. Can you charge EX Fireball? You can. Okay, so that's good.
EX Charge Fireball is insanely good.
It's very good. If you aren't using it, use it. It'll change your life. Eagle Spike. This move is still Eagle Spike from the first game, except it's way easier to punish. So you never want to use this on block. It is death on block. As you can see, it is negative 36. Any character, well, not only does it have a pretty good startup, because it doesn't start until frame 21. So that's somewhat reactable, and you can be drive impact punished for it. If it's blocked, you can just get drive impact punished with that raw, and it's insane. Or some characters can even dash up button for a punish.
Yeah, in the Rashid mirror, he can actually just hop forward, do standing heavy punish counter, and a heavy eagle spike, which is immediate corner carry and a good chunk of damage too.
Yeah. So now not on block though. The move is fantastic because it knocks down for so long that you get Oki, and it slides, and you get full corner carry basically. Like I did 2 dashes and I still am plus 19. You have the world to work with.
So I'll tell you something. I was playing him for a long time, and my net was out, so a lot of it was like introspective and like training and doing arcade mode. And And Rashid was actually the first character that I played that actually got an achievement of not using a continue in the hardest arcade mode.
Damn.
And what it was is that I looked up, I got a good understanding of him, got his combos down to some degree. I'm like, okay, now it's time to look up like players. So I looked up Big Bird, looked up his Rashid and everything. And I noticed something he was doing that changed my game plan forever on this character.
Really?
I'm like, well, what's his wing condition? Like, okay, he's got great corner carry and he's got some really good pressure in the corner, but like, what makes him like actually good? So his wing condition, he's like JP, but he's the opposite. Where if he hits you with Eagle Spike, then depending where you are on the screen, he can do a charged whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, he has enough Oki. Instead of using dash up Oki, you charge up the fireball and let it go, and like just let it charge all the way through, and it releases. And if you block that fireball, he can do spinning mixer from that enhanced tornado that he gets. And if you block the tornado, then he can do spinning mixer, and it's a true block string, which goes into a 50-50.
Oh.
Like there's nothing you can do if you actually block that fireball or even parry it.
Right.
Then it's a true block string. It can go into Eagle Spike, which is completely safe on block because it bounces all the way back and allows him to do it again if it's on hit. So he can play this really weird zoning game of like throw a fireball out, go through. If the Eagle Spike hits, he can just do it again if he's just being trolly like that. But if he puts you in that situation, if you don't want to deal with it with the 50-50, you have to spend resources.
Yeah.
You have to.
Which is good. A character that forces options, I believe, is good. So, Eagle Spike, fantastic. Whirlwind Shot, we've been over. Arabian Cyclone, this is a new one, right?
Yes, this is something new that he has.
Okay. So, it's got a couple follow-ups, as you can see here. He's got the Wing Stroke, which allows him to basically do like an air dash. His Rolling Assault, which is his roll from the previous game. His V skill 1 or 2. I think it was 1.
So what's interesting about this move, Ducky, is that I was really interested to see what they do with a Street Fighter V character that's really built around like the V system and everything. Effectively, they gave him a move that gave him both of his V skills. His V skill 2 is the air dash, which he had, and then his V skill 1 is the roll. And it still has the same properties of if you block the heavy Arabian Cyclone and then roll, you're +1. However, if you do, this is a very basic sequence. If you do like jab in the corner, you jab medium mixer, and then immediately go into heavy Cyclone, then roll, that can go up to +7.
Ooh, that is a huge amount of frame advantage for nothing.
Yeah, no, I would argue he's got some of the best corner play in the game, if not the best.
Yeah, he's got plus frames for days. Arabian Cyclone is honestly one of the moves I was most interested in for him. You know, seeing him come back to the game because it looked so much fun to looked like it was so much fun to use. And honestly, like I'm glad that it's like basically his whole game plan, at least in the corner. And it does pretty good on the drive meter there. I'm seeing.
Yeah, all of his moves, like Ducky, I swear, if you do if I did EX charge whirlwind or or level 2 tornado and then did Eagle Spike from that, it takes a chunk of your drive gauge.
Yeah, it
takes a chunk. I've seen it, I swear I've seen it. It takes 1/15 of your health bar if you block it in burnout.
Ooh.
It's a lot. It surprised me. I'm like, wow, that can actually just kill you.
Yeah, that takes basically a whole bar, and he's now EX Eagle Spike is safe, obviously, because you go fucking full screen basically. Well, no, I'm sorry, not EX. The enhanced Eagle Spike is safe because you go back full screen. No one's punishing you there. Not even JP can punish you.
Yeah, the only thing that EX Eagle Spike is good for is is a little bit faster.
Let me see. What's the
just raw EX Eagle Spike?
Start them in 21 frames, 15. Nah, it's not this.
Okay, so then it's just used for a side swap. So if I get you in the corner, if I get a combo or something, or if I want to like put you in the corner because we're closer to it, then you could do that. It's an option. Yeah. You know, you could do EX Eagle Spike into light Eagle Spike on the way back in. just for some Oki, and then sets up your win condition of whirlwind. Medium catches you standing there, but if he does light, then it catches back rise.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
And again, if you block that, because you're not going to he's across the screen, you're not going to like EXDP him, right? You can absolutely, that puts him in his win condition, which he goes into spinning mixer. You have to hold that or spend resources or take the guess. And he's just able to just put you in that win condition just constantly.
Yeah.
He's effectively DJ without, he doesn't have to do drive rush. Now he can, here's the thing, he can do drive rush, and his overhead is extremely rewarding because it goes into his medium.
He also has one of the faster drive rushes in the game. So
yeah, it's very, very good. So there's a few ways you can play him. You don't have to just do the whirlwind for the Oki. You can actually just use the standard one or drive rush or whatever. Like, he's got a lot of ways you can play him, which is really interesting. Honestly, it makes him really fun.
That's good. And then lastly, the last move that he has, it's Arabian Air. This little double jump that they give him, because he used to have a double jump, right? Every character has.
He had a wall. He had a wall jump.
He did have a wall jump. That's right.
And I think
He still has, but it's not as.
So
good.
what that replaced was his dive kick.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have the air eagle spike anymore.
Yeah, it replaced his dive kick from there. However, the sequence is still there, where if you do like enhanced EX eagle spike, you can then cancel into that in the same fashion you would as his old combo of EX eagle spike into his EX dive kick. So the sequence is still there, but it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, which is really neat. Each of these has a different angle depending on what button you press. And you can also cut it short, I think, by holding back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so another movement option. This is great for baiting anti-airs or, messing with people's timings on anti-airs. Definitely a tool to be used. Also, the EX version works fantastic in combos because it allows him to do some really cool air stuff. It's honestly, this character is just like he was in 5. He's an anime character in a Street Fighter game, and I love that about him.
Yeah, they translate him off really well. Another cool thing. So you remember the jump I was doing? Just the wahoo wahoo.
Oh yeah, the down heavy in the air. Yeah.
No. The it's forward 2 punches. Or 2 kicks. Sorry, my bad.
The EX version of it.
No, it's just forward 2 kicks.
I
believe.
Oh, right. He has this.
Yeah, so I was just doing that randomly just to throw in motions and everything. However, that's yet again another Oki option that he has. So instead of doing whirlwind or drive rush, you can do that again. You can do, from that, you do forward 2 kicks. Then from there, if you want to do more of a cross-up, you do the same motion, but it's back instead. So you go forward, then back. Or if you want to go completely over them, you do forward, then forward.
Oh.
From there, if you do an eagle spike, it's actually, I've tested it, it's an actual meaty setup. Where you hit them with eagle spike, do your forward on the kicks there, and then it's real. It catches you mashing.
Oh.
So he's got plenty of ways to deal with characters that don't want you to get in. The other thing is that if you allow him to charge up fireballs, because I was fighting some guys today and some fireball characters, if you can't get in, and they're really just focusing on the fireball game from across the screen, if you're gonna let me sit there and do his whirlwind shot charged up, then if I hold up forward for the jump, I literally go all the way to you perfectly.
Oh wow. That's
so he has answers for mobility for days. He'll find his way in.
Yeah, which is good because we've been talking about. Oh yeah, let's go through his specials or his supers really quickly before we talk about some of the downsides that he has.
Yeah,
which aren't too numerous, but they do make him a character. So we have Super Rashid Kick, which has a far hit. Oh, well, I still got the clean hit version. Never mind. But that animation is sick, so I don't mind. But yeah, he's got the Super Rashid kick. Standard level 1 physical or strike invuln, right? Strike and throw invuln.
Yeah, I've had it stuffed by many fireballs, so it's strike and bone. It's a great wake up tool in our sets and everything. It's good for like aerial approach. It's a decent anti-air. Decent little combo ender. I would say it's not worth the damage because you can do like a corner combo and everything and end it with that. And it's like if you want to close it out, sure, but it doesn't give you Oki off of it anyway. And you only get the cinematic if it hits grounded.
Yeah, only if it hits grounded. Otherwise, you just get just the kick, which does pretty decent damage.
It's all right. Yeah, no, it's all right.
But you know, if you can
also
get that,
something to imagine as well is that the grounded hit side swaps.
yes, grounded hits side swap, so
it makes it an excellent reversal in the corner if you get the right read on it.
Yeah, so fantastic little move that we have there. We have Isar, which thank goodness the bugs are fixed because week 1 he was terrifying everyone with this, but he's got his V Trigger 2 back as a special, as his level.
Oh, this is his V Trigger 1.
Oh, V Trigger 1, okay. 1.
Yeah, his V Trigger 2 was like enhanced specials.
That's true. So this acts as an enhanced tornado for him that also lingers after it's done, after a certain amount of hits. And if he passes through it, all of his specials are enhanced.
Yep.
You know,
his dash and everything. Yeah.
His dash and everything, he becomes faster. So like, that's also a fantastic thing.
You can also kick it with Arabian Cyclone and it goes full screen.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
So, let me see here. Whoops, that was the wrong move. Yep, you can kick it into the enemy. Or if they're trying to run away, you know, clip them with it. You can even use the 2 kicks move that you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
And you can basically cross up from like full fucking screen.
So
you can get somewhere.
This is the deciding factor of the character. Where I've dabbled with it, I don't use it that great. The most I've seen it effectively used was when Big Bird used it. He would be, he'd put you in the corner, and then he would activate it, and effectively he would just walk slightly in front of it. It's like if you hit me and challenge me, you are getting clipped, and I know the combo to go after this.
Okay. That's actually a really interesting way to use it. I have seen it in some sandwich setups because, well, you can't go anywhere, so your options are severely limited, and then he gets to do basically whatever he wants to you. High, low, go for some sort of weird aerial maneuver to fake you out, cross up. It's nasty.
If you wanted to, it's not gonna really do any good. But let's say you want to go for the chip kill and they're in burnout, activate it and just start doing eagle spike. There's nothing they can do. Yeah. Really, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can do.
It was like you got to be ready for the fastest super of your entire life. It's extremely brawlic. Not complete. He has answers to everything. He does. I've seen it myself. But he's got so many ways to end the round, which is really interesting, depending on the conditions.
And then finally his critical art, which this one I have to get the actual critical art version of. He's got a.
It looks so good, man.
It's my favorite. So we have Altair. This is probably one of the best animations in the game.
I would argue it is. This is the DLC stank, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they put so much energy into this. Like, I love the super.
The way he looks when he like poses right before it is it's so good, man. It makes the game look freaking insane.
And the after images too, man, it really. And this is legitimately just Swiftmaster Awakening from DNF Duel 2. He does basically the exact same thing.
In a lot of ways, it's technically like Ragnarok. Like Zeku had a very similar version of this. Guy had something like this, and obviously Strider had it as well. So it's kind of like a spiritual Ragnarok, in a way. Just cool. It's always just cool.
Really
it is a little nerfed with its application just a teensy tiny bit because the original one had the tornado going all the way up. You couldn't jump over it. So, I mean, but again, you have another super that does just that.
Yeah, so you don't really need it.
So it's slightly changed and adjusted from there. So let's talk. I'll give you my opinions from playing the character and the struggles I've had and the with the character and everything. With his weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So where should we start? What are some weaknesses that you see?
So just from what I've seen that has been played of the character, his normals absolutely very stubby.
Which is psychotic to think because in Street Fighter V they insanely good. They were insanely good, dude.
Like standing light punch is pretty good. Standing light kick as a 4-frame is pretty good, but these go nowhere. Like you have to be.
His standing medium kick is deceptively good. Not plus though, but it is his biggest combo starter.
Is it?
It's good to throw out there. No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah, so it can get eat them by DI pretty easily. But it's a good move to throw out just to check them. It's definitely good. I've also seen some strange interactions with standing heavy kick because he kind of like goes down then back up.
Yeah.
So it actually reaches longer than it looks.
Yeah. So this has got some range on it, but like definitely his poke is standing heavy punch, which good because like you can special cancel from it. It's a punish counter, or it's a great punish counter tool because it like crumples. Does great on the guard on the drive meter. Like that's half a bar if you block this. And it doesn't have like a whole bunch of recovery. It's got some recovery, but like
as throwing it out, I've thrown it a few times in neutral and it's very easy to like DI right after it. I wouldn't say it's like a Jamie like easy DI button or even like a DJ one, but it's pretty easy. It's active enough to where you can like throw it out pretty safely and just be ready for DI just in case.
Crouching medium punch or crouching light punch and crouching light kick are nothing to write home about. Crouching medium punch though, this button's a hero. I've seen this shit clip everything.
That almost looks like it could be like an anti-air in some cases, but it's weird, man. It's also +1 along with his standing medium punch.
It's +2. Oh, it was +2 because it was so much further out. Okay. Yeah. Space is even more plus, which is cool. That's +3. Wow.
You could see some approaches to where you can do a really good button of his that's actually it's really good is his forward heavy punch, or I'm sorry, his forward medium punch.
Oh yeah. So the first hit is special cancelable.
Yes.
But the other part of it is not, but it's still pretty good. It's only -3 on block, so you're safe at the very least. Doesn't do a whole lot to the drive gauge, but if you wanna maintain and keep in, this button's great for it because it's an advancing normal.
It's also plus on block in Burnout.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Burnout adds what, 3 or 4 frames?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, I think 4 is the magic number in this game, so which is great because you get to stay on top of them when they're at their weakest. Not like you can really loop it because it's 8 frames, but like you can go into your standing light or your standing heavy punch. Keep them in check.
Sequences that you can do in Burnout is that he can actually stick to you pretty hard in Burnout because light spinning mixer is also plus in Burnout.
Oh yeah, because what is it normally on block? Yeah, -3 on block, so safe.
Yeah.
But in Burnout, it's like +1, so you're not escaping them anytime soon.
So you could do space traps to where in Burnout you can do that into jab, then do it again, and then test your luck by throwing out a crouching medium kick and then doing it again. He can stick onto you pretty well. Something I have seen from his sequences is that even though he does like his enhanced spinning mixer and everything, it's never always an equal distance every time you hit the opponent, which is really strange. If the opponent blocks it, he's not always in range for the grab, even though he's plus. It's really strange.
That is kind of strange.
I can actually see that being a not to talk too far out in the future, but I could see that being a buff he gets is making that more consistent on block because like you've got the plus frames, like you set up the win condition, but sometimes he like is still just a little too far away for the grab, which his grab range doesn't seem like it's that great.
Yeah, it's still it's got a little shortness to it, so
yeah,
but that's fine. Crouching medium kick, great button, special cancelable. fucking drive crouch medium kick. Like,
Yeah, drive Rush into whatever into his win condition, like immediately. Like it's really good.
So like
It's a teensy tiny bit. It's just the smallest bit stubby. And when we go over the matchup chart and everything real quick, that's kind of a deciding factor in a lot of it is that move right there and like how you're able to use that neutral.
Yeah.
His sweep is whatever.
Yeah, sweep is whatever. I've actually never seen this button. Crouching heavy punch looks like standing heavy punch part 2. Is it special cancel?
Yeah, that was his former.
Okay, it's not.
That was his former just standing heavy punch in 5, I believe. So imagine if that shit crush countering you in 5, like, and then he gets whatever he wants.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it. Overall, just kind of stubby buttons. While he does have answers, he can't really set up shop against some stronger zoners. Like I know he like me personally, we played a couple times. We know he has a pretty rough time against JP because Spike exists and also Tear. You know, he has to play a pretty committal mid-range, I'll say, because of his options. Cause
his specials don't really allow for a continuation of pressure. You think he'd be like a pressure monster, and he is, like when he sets up shop and is able to get going. But his specials don't really allow that to happen. There's not like a super great way to end it. Like with Luke, I can just do Sandblast, heavy punch, Sandblast, and like I can actually use a space trap and get you, if it's spaced correctly. But with him, his buttons are like, his neutral's just not really all that great. He doesn't end it very well. You can jab out most of his Arabian Cyclone stuff if he tries to steal a turn. If you get hit by Whirlwind, who cares?
Yeah.
Don't do Eagle Spike from personal experience. Don't ever do that.
Don't do Eagle Spike. Save yourself the trouble.
While he doesn't have to steal turns, for him to actually get pressure going in the neutral, he does, but that's not his consistent gameplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So those things I've seen are a little what keeps him down, and also like he looked a lot faster than he actually is in the trailer. Like
he looked like he was moving, dude.
Yeah, his air options are actually pretty laggy. The Arabian air move, while again very good for movement and can interrupt or like miss time for anti-airs and stuff, you really have to commit, and I think that's his biggest thing is just he has to commit to something.
If he didn't do like that second kick up he does, like he makes the tornado then jumps, it might be a little bit trickier. I wouldn't suggest, these are not buff ideas by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be a little bit sneakier, but it's like you kind of, it's really weird. If he jumps far enough away, you're probably not going to try to anti-air him anyway, because you're not like in range to get like an effective anti-air if you're like a Shoto or something or whatever. But then they do that, and effectively you just watch, and there's not a whole lot of control he has after he does it. So you just kind of watch what he does, and it's not great for just approach. Really, personally, I think
you have to use it with purpose, which that's fine. Yeah. Like I'm all for like moves like needing a purpose for you to use them effectively.
Fantastic in the corner, like it's fantastic in the corner when you're like mixing it up that way. But when it comes to just it's catch them sleeping, you're trying to get out of the corner. You have a few ways, like with the wall jump, obviously, and then you can do that maybe if you're trying to get out of the corner, but. Yeah, it's not something. It's like, oh, I want to get in. If you want to get in, do charged like cyclone into forward jump, and you're in.
Yeah, but just niche usage of some of that stuff, and then just very committal offense, which all in all doesn't make him a bad character. Also, just the distance that medium punch pushes out doesn't really give him any leeway to do anything else. Like it's +1, yes, but like the most you can get either another medium punch, which again is 6 frame startup.
It's not real.
5, so this isn't a real frame trap. Your only real frame trap would be standing light punch. And what the fuck are you getting off that?
Like you do spinning mixer and then you're safe, but you're also in range for them and you put yourself in a mix.
Yeah. So
You put yourself in the, like, are they going to grab me, or like, do I have to like tech here, or like, what do I have to do?
So, just some weird committal offense stuff, but outside of that, I think the character's fantastic. I don't think he's as weak as some of the quote unquote weaker characters in the game. Definitely not top 5 material, I'll say, but he's definitely a contender, and I look forward to seeing him at EVO. So, I know you mentioned you had a little matchup chart from after you playing so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Would you like to pull one up, and we'll kind of go through it, and just from my personal experience and what I know about the character, because I've played him for a solid week. You know, he's effectively become my third main after my 2 white boys, Luke and Ken. So.
Let me see. I should be able to pull up. Where's Tier Maker? Tier Maker's around here somewhere, right?
Yeah. Hopefully there's one with Rashid on it. If not, we'll find some we'll improvise
sure,
it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Let me just go and search Street Fighter 6.
Batman tier list.
Let's see. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, this one has Rashid on it.
Okay, cool.
So.
So we're gonna make we're simply gonna make technically 3 tiers, but we're gonna add 4. We're gonna just top is Rashid. Then we're gonna do advantageous, even, and disadvantage.
And we can just remove this one. All right. So we'll just go across the board here.
Yeah. Okay.
As you give your thoughts, what do you think of the Ryu matchup? I can only speak in theory, so I will leave this mostly to you.
So I haven't fought super high level Ryus, but I fought a few since my net came back on. Is able to like try them out. The thing you want to think about is the fireball and the neutral, and what allows him to set up shop. So which is charged whirlwind is like his shop for sure. Then when he gets you in the corner, doesn't matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So with Ryu, while Dungeon Charge is a thing, EX charged whirlwind can just eat right through Dungeon. It becomes a very honest fireball war at that point, but he actually gets more reward because if you once you block that fireball, you're gonna guess.
Mm-hmm.
So while a good Ryu can contend with him, I'm actually gonna put him in what are the contexts here? So this is Rashid, so he's advantageous. Yeah, put him in advantageous.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's advantageous against Ryu. Yeah. Not super anything there. Like Ryu's buttons can compete, but the win conditions are so much more in his favor, and like Ryu has to play a very honest game, and Rashid once it sets up shop, it's not that hard to get him to play ball. You know
Especially with just the way that the Ryu man works here. He's just like, it's not that it's a terribly weak character, but we've discussed this before. He just doesn't have the same strengths as everyone else, and a lot of his damage is kind of backloaded, and he just has to play super honestly if he wants to get anywhere, which is not a bad thing, but when you have the characters that you have in this game that are as strong as they are, you can't afford to be too honest.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Luke's a slightly different case because with EX Sandblast especially, he can contest any random charged whirlwinds.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a metered option, so they can only last so long. I would say though his buttons are superior by far. His buttons can eat the hell out of Rashid. Play the same game plan and everything. Not a whole lot. I would say it's probably Luke wins the matchup.
Luke wins. Okay, so this is a disadvantage for Rashid.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, par for the course. That's what makes Luke so strong.
Yeah, true. Next up, we've got the lady herself, Chun-Li. No nude mod, so
No nude mod.
no nude mod.
50 years old and clothed with grandchildren. So I think her buttons are superior, but because of the way her buttons work and everything, she really has to work for her stuff to like really get it going. And because the only fireball she has is EX Kikoken, which is it's fast, but if I'm full screen, it's like I can just put that out and everything. I actually think I'm gonna say Rashid wins this matchup.
Okay.
Ultimately, like her buttons compete, but he just gets so much reward. It's just a matter of time. Her anti-airs are really lackluster. She just has like the down kicks. Like Rashid could just jump out the hell over her.
It's really like Tensho kicks is really vertical. Even EX Tensho kicks does reach to the top of the screen. He can still just like not be there. I could definitely see that. And also, Chun-Li is a very underdeveloped character so far because she's so. Yeah,
we'll see how she goes. Like she showed up, at the Red Bull Kumite and beat that one player beat Tokido's Ken, who's considered a top 5 or top 3 character consistently.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, we've got Jamie on the list, the notorious, most downplayed character in this game. I feel
completely, wholeheartedly agree. I'll have to say because of his lack of fireball and his lack of fireball invulnerable moves to deal with a lot of this pressure, and the fact that his anti-air, like his DP, he stays in place. So it's a very peculiar anti-air. With all of his movements and everything. I think he loses the matchup.
We're going to put Jamie here in disadvantage. Guile, Freedom himself.
So I fought a really decent Guile today, and the same thing with Ryu still applied. Where, so I'm having to fight on his terms, right? But again, with all I need is an EX, charged Whirlwind, and jump. And if you're not ready for that, anti-air, like Guile has to play it really peculiarly, and while his buttons are, I think, a little bit chunkier and a little bit like more.
He's got very good buttons.
Yeah, he's got really good buttons. While the Ryu thing may apply, and if I was like gloating myself up here on like beating him almost 10 games in a row, I would say it'd be Rashid would win the matchup, but I'm gonna actually say it's even.
So you're saying that it's even. I can see it being even. So Guile is an insanely strong character in the context of Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
But I also think that I shouldn't have used the word insanely. It just feels hyperbolic of how I truly feel, because I feel like he's a bit overrated. Like, I understand the appeal of Guile and I understand the strengths of Guile, but I feel like people are being a little too generous. And I feel like it's still kind of like those early impressions that are really swaying us. Because, I mean, maybe this is just me personally because I haven't fought any good Guiles, or I don't fight very many Guiles at all. I don't see the character's strengths so much. And maybe my character has a better matchup against him. But I think Guile might be a little overrated. Outside of his really good buttons and solid damage in the corner only, Guile is still just doing very basic Guile things. And he's playing
defensive in a very aggressive game. And what makes Luke better than him in the matchup is that Luke's fireball is way faster. It's it's like the fastest fireball in the game.
Now, I will say, he does have a very good fireball, because you can't do the same fireball shenanigans against Guile that a lot of other characters do with just, like, bypassing it, but we won't linger too long on that. We'll save that discussion for a later time. Next up, we have Kimberly, the Bushin Ninja herself.
So, with Heavy Mixer being able to capitalize on any type of possible mix she had, besides just, what every character can do, like just jab her if she's going to go for almost anything, that can solve a lot of those issues. She's speedy, but is she speedy enough to beat the Charge Tornado? And then on top of her having her invincible reversal moved, I think Rashid wins the matchup.
You do. Now this is your matchup chart. I'll say that, so I will put her in advantage. I think this is more even, just because of when I think of. Again, this is all theory fighting for me because I have not played Rashid as much as you have.
If she has to deal with the fireball, and then she has no real like, obviously everything uses meter, right? But she has to use super to get out, which ruins her comeback factor, right?
True. I was more so thinking along the lines of how much better her neutral is and her movement options because of things like teleport, things like slide, air teleport. I think those are all really good tools to help work around Rashid's fireball and can help in, a situation her frame data being overall just a bit better.
It's slightly like she's got buttons that are like a slightly better than his. But it's not advantageous enough to where like it's, in my personal opinion, that like she can win the entire thing. Like it's very simple. Like they both have very similar win conditions, but I actually think Rashid's corner game is a lot stronger because it can actually just be real.
Okay.
And you're forced to make guesses instead of like, here comes the EX over, teleport, and you're like, oh, I'm not ready for it. Like Rashid's is like extremely real. He's got many ways to mix you up. It's an extremely hard thing to fight. I just think he's a stronger character just overall. I would say it's almost even, but like because she doesn't have an invincible reversal outside of super, it's a slight disadvantage. It's very slight. I don't think any of these are like 7-3 even. I think at worst 4.
Jury, the top tier right now.
I didn't get a lot of experience fighting juries. The one I did fight, rage quit on me.
Damn.
She didn't like that. But I do think her fireball is really good against him. Really good against his buttons a lot of the time. Like just better buttons in general. Dive kick to get over whirlwind and like his approach options. Definitely gonna snag. Great anti-air, obviously. And ways to get out. I think. I'm trying to think. Does she have a way to get through fireball?
Yeah. Her drive rush, low profiles pretty well. Also, she's got her dive kick, which she is really fast.
She can compete, and I think she's just as far as right now, she's just a much more developed character. So I think she wins the matchup.
Dalzim.
So I actually fought a really good Dalzim. And it's kind of hard to say because with the weird neutral, like if you can beat Rashid in neutral, it's actually extremely hard for him to get anything started. There's a lot of situations to where like I can do heavy mixer or it missed, but like I land just in time to where I recover and you didn't punish it. And like you have to really be on it, right? Rashid has meterless ways to punish a lot of what Rashid does and doesn't have to like, commit to too much. You can beat teleport with heavy mixer consistently no matter what side it's on, but it is a read. It is absolutely a read because Rashid doesn't have a very good anti-air normal, which keeps him from being really, really good. It's hard to say because again, he can teleport through those conditions. I actually think Dalsum might win the matchup.
I have been playing against Dalsum more and more as time has gone on, and I find this character incredibly frustrating to fight with my character. I don't see how Rashid copes with it either. It just doesn't seem like it's the most fun thing in the world because teleport exists in the way that teleport exists.
Like there are characters who can deal with it well, right? But like again, his win condition, like Luke I can just throw it out there as an extended button, which is really good. But my win condition is like, I'm gonna randomly charge it. Where are you gonna teleport? He's got way he can just float over it, and just not deal with it at all. And it's very hard to get Dalsum to stand still and get it going. Obviously, when you do get it going, it's really good for. You know what? I'm gonna put this in fair. Put him in fair. Because he does get just slaughtered when he can get it going. It's just really, really hard, but I think it pays off. Typical sim shit, hard to get in, but when you get in, you can just slaughter him. So, but I would say it's even.
All right, Edmunds Honder.
I fought a few. Because he's so heavyweight and a slightly bigger body. And I forgot, does he have actual wake up reversal?
Yes, he's got EX headbutt, which I believe has some form of invulnerability on it.
Yeah, well, it's got a few hits of armor.
Oh yeah, it also has armor. That's true.
So if that's the case, when it comes to corner play, a lot of Rashid's stuff that he can do with the charged whirlwind actually eats up all armor. You want a DI? No, it eats it up clean. I'm already reacting and doing whirlwind, which goes into a combo because it's plus, I believe, 4 for the jab. So you can actually link it and do enhanced whirlwind. It hits, and then it's a very tight link. But you do jab, drive rush into jab, medium kick, and then whatever you want. So I actually think
not really looking good for the big man.
Yeah. I would say Rashid wins it.
All right.
Because he's playing a very similar game. Like his buttons are really chunky and very prominent, but also it's not like a traditional like footsie button kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
And I think if you can play against that, like his movement's not phenomenal outside of his specials. He just gets eaten up just a little bit. It's not, again, these aren't just horrible matchups, but I do think he has a slight advantage.
And also, just like Honda is not a very amazing character, I will say. Like he's very one note. He doesn't have a lot of options to approach. He outside of like headbutt into just walking at you. Sure, he's got some okay normals and some okay whip punish game, but like Honda has to take far more risk and throw his whole body at you, and Rashid doesn't have to. He can play like a pixie character and just bounce around him. He can just not be there. Fireball exists. Eagle Spike. I wonder what the interaction between Eagle Spike and Sumo Headbutt are. It has to be pretty interesting. But I don't really see this going well for Honda either.
Yeah.
We've got Kenderson Masters.
Before we move on, make sure to move Jamie up to advantage for Rashid because he's in disadvantage.
Oh wait, I thought. Okay, so it's advantage.
Yeah, sorry, we kind of phrased it weird. Or no, Luke stays where he's at because it's a disadvantage.
You said Jamie. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's absolutely wrong. That was my bad.
Yeah. All right. I thought some good Kens. I think Ken is very similar to Luke. That he's just got a lot of options, a very similar win condition, and while not a like super hardcore mixy, corner game, it's still very much real. It's very much strike throw, which, hey, as we've seen, strike throw is all you need. Vastly superior buttons with his medium kick sequence and just standing heavy punch, like he can just chunk you out and get his game plan started pretty quickly, along with having pretty good damage across the board because Rashid is a teensy tiny bit backloaded. Just a little bit. So
and also DP. Ken DP, best DP in the game.
Ken DP is really good. I was thinking even, but I might think no. I think Ken wins it.
I think Ken wins this as well. Yeah. I feel it, and he's one of the strongest characters in the game. Yeah. He's in win condition immediately. You can't just freely throw a fireball at Ken because he will run DP at you, and it will hit you, and you will die for it. In Tatsu and everything, he can get around it, and with as committal as Rashid's neutral is, Ken can just kind of bulldog his way in on him if he chooses any option that isn't the correct one at that time.
It's not incredibly hard to deal with it.
Definitely think Ken sets the pace against him in that regard.
Yeah.
We've got Blanca-chan. Got the big green man. I'm gonna pick this character up. I gotta get some time in with him.
He's got some stuff, right? So typical stuff. He's got invincible reversal. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. With EX Blanca Ball and stuff like that.
The EX up ball is invulnerable, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And he also has the meta tech of the EX Air Blanca Ball, where you jump up.
Jump back everything. Air Blanca Ball is still belligerent. Really belligerent.
He's got very unique mobility options. He is slightly bigger. He's like a slightly bigger body this time around. And he doesn't necessarily have to hold it, but I'm going to say this is relatively even because while Rashid doesn't have the best time just doing raw tornado in some of the matchups, Blanca can't just do random, Blanca Chun, which neutral, which you're not going to be doing anyway. That's not really what you're using. But
You're using that for
it
setup.
ends up being a very similar matchup, just overall. And yeah, I would say it's even.
This one's even.
Yeah,
I can
it's
definitely see that. I feel like, although I want to put him in advantage, because I feel like Blanca out neutrals Rashid very hard. He's got amazing buttons on him and can play footsies so well. Any one hit is going into like corner carry into a Blanca Chun setup, which no one wants to deal with. And the existence of level 2 ups his mobility in ways that Rashid does not have access to by a lot.
Well, you got to think also that they play a very similar matchup where both their level 2s initiate a type of win condition setup type deal. It just seems it ends up being a very similar back and forth. And while it does seem like it would be slightly in favor of Blanca with his neutral and everything, for some reason in that matchup, and I fought some really good Blancas, like medium kick and standing heavy punch actually do work in that matchup, like very well. So, but I would say it's relatively even right now.
DJ Blanca for president, I totally agree. Hello, Twy. Welcome to the stream. Just talking matchups for a little bit, and then we're gonna get a little bit of gaming in. We've got DJ up next. The DJ. Definitely like a top 5 contender as far as characters go. Definitely very strong. He sets the pace of the game super well. I also believe that he out neutrals Rashid just because of the way of his fireball, up kicks, just cool into drive rush or drive rush into just cool. Like, I feel bad for Rashid in this matchup.
So, I think personally Rashid is how DJ should have been designed, because they're both under the same category of tricky characters. Rashid's very tricky, and his damage doesn't really get going until he gets a very clean hit. And a lot of his extensions are, he's not really like a combo into drive rush kind of character. He's very much an EX guy, much like DJ. Can't do that as well. The damage difference is insane.
It's bad.
I still think DJ does way too much damage. Yeah, it kind of can be very specific to access, but when all you need is to punish counter standing heavy punch into machine gun upper, like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
just so much damage. And they play a very similar game plan in a lot of ways, but I think DJ can stick to you better. Just in general, his buttons, like you said, they're just vastly better. It's kind of a really bad matchup for him, I think. Even though they're a similar archetype, I think DJ just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, I don't see it going over him. Also, thank you for helping out with the algorithm, Twy. I greatly appreciate it. He also says hello, Justin.
Hey, what's poppin', Twy?
Manon. Okay, so this character is under a lot of fire often, for good reason. This character's kind of insane. Kind of. Not like the most insane, but she's got a lot of tools that I didn't really expect. And I feel like she plays against Rashid extremely well. I've seen a couple of matches on YouTube and stuff. With her being able to be projectile invulnerable with her spin, being able to punish relatively easily with that the kick out of that spin, her buttons being as good as they are, and her not really having to, because Rashid's gonna have to come to her eventually. And be in her range. He's always in range for a light command throw into now guess for your life. So
the thing about Manon is that while she does have some really interesting neutral, and like her neutral I think is actually a little bit better than what people initially gave it credit for, it can compete with Rashid, but it's because they're similar. They're very similar, and she still has to play like a risk reward game, off that everything. But you can still just use whirlwind shot as a fireball, and that's not something you're going to be doing like at a mid range. Like, you're going to be doing it at a pretty far range to where even if she goes through it, it's not really going to matter that much. Even if you do charged whirlwind and she goes through it, spinning mixer, here it comes, and if that hits, you're screwed. If you do eagle spike, It's a very Locomil thing to do. And again, she doesn't have an invincible reversal outside of her supers and everything.
She doesn't have an invincible reversal, but she does have an upper body invulnerable EX in the spin. So I think that is something to consider. Well, I definitely want to see how the matchup develops, but from what you're presenting, I can definitely see how it would be swayed into Rashid's favor.
You could say that, like, yeah, like he has to come to Manon, but in essence, not necessarily. It becomes almost like a Ryu situation to where like your fundamentals would have to be put into check to keep him from like doing anything, and like her damage is really good. And like, just imagine grabbing him. Think about a minute being a Manon player and grabbing him. It's not very easy, though. I do think she has better pressure in general, but it's also not that much. Her, because of the range that Rashid wants to play, her like low high situation with like the leg spin thing and like the overhead it's just not really coming into play the same way. I think this is in Rashid's favor, but it's not by a lot. But I'd have to see more of it.
I'm seeing it more even than anything. Even with the fireball there, Manon has way too many ways because especially with the way his fireball can be angled, just way too many ways around it where she doesn't have to worry about it that much.
It just depends. It really just depends because it's not the fireball more than it is the action after it. So if she goes through the fireball with that move, that's not what to worry about. You have to worry about the mixer that's coming right after it. And I'm sure that spinning mixer beats that interaction. I do think Rashid wins. For now, I think Rashid wins the matchup.
Okay. Marisa.
He beats the shit out of her.
I was just like, I don't think it's a very good matchup. He just doesn't have to interact with her at all if he doesn't want to.
That matchup feels like, when you play a single player game and this boss that gave you trouble, well, now you have like all this like armor and everything, and now you can just whoop their ass.
Yeah.
Everything she does is armor, which negates any of her setups that she wants to do. I've literally like stood there, knocked her down, and then did charge whirlwind in her fucking face. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna do the stance. Eats it up fucking clean into combo. Like she's a big body. Like she's just not getting away with it, man. She's just not.
Yeah, she's not. She's gonna get hit. I mean, of course, if
I would
she
say
gets
it's one of her
in,
worst matchups.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, sure she can kill him, but like she has to get there first. So, Marisa is
like,
Marisa.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is that the one matchup I had against a really good Marisa, and I wanted to play more, but they left. Is that pretty much I dictated the match until they did wake up level 3, and then I was in my win condition of just not being right next to her again. Like she was so desperate. The only thing she could do was wake up super, and I'm like, because you don't have to play neutral with her. She's so slow that I'm just gonna do my win condition immediately and put you in that situation, and you have to hold it. It's bad.
Moving on to the man himself, my baby, JP. We've talked about this one ad nauseum.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't think JP is such a strong character that he even belongs with those people there. I think he's a very niche character that plays a certain role. Because what makes those 4 characters before him so good is their gameplay and consistency. And he doesn't necessarily have that with all those matchups. While Rashid actually can contest with most fireball characters and everything, because of JP's style of zoning, which is immediate fireballs, where there's no travel time, then you can absolutely stop everything I'm doing. You dictate a lot of the pacing and everything. With Amnesia, you can... I feel like you could just... I'd like to see the interaction between a charged Whirlwind and Amnesia. I don't think it would dictate the matchup any more differently, but I would just love to see it. So we'll have to run that soon.
Yeah, we'll have to run that. JP, you don't get to charge Fireball for free. He doesn't.
His neutral is like a little bit better.
Yeah, his neutral is a little bit better because his
buttons.
It's his cane is good. You like this auto music? Yeah, the music is actually from the is Rashid's theme, if I remember correctly, or is this Nashal theme? I don't remember.
Oh, I think it's all the same.
Yeah. Either way, Street Fighter 6 soundtrack. It's on Spotify. Go listen. But yeah, JP. This matchup does not favor Rashid at all. Spike is always a threat because you can't charge Fireball for free against him. You have with Rashid's committal neutral and JP not really having to commit to anything. You know it's
an uphill fight. It's not impossible, but it is an uphill fight.
Yeah, it's a strong fight uphill. Cammy White, the Beans on Toast lady herself.
So I haven't seen this in theory necessarily. I haven't gotten to play Logan with his Cammy and everything. And the one Cammy I did fight, again, she rage quit on me. But she also wasn't optimal at all. Mm-hmm. In theory, I think she wins the matchup because of a few things. She's got multitudes of ways to go over Fireball. So even if I charge a Fireball and I'm trying to go for that, spin Knuckles and answer, she's got not one, but two supers that can answer it very cleanly into big damage. And then, very much like Rashid, all he needs is an Eagle Spike into whatever he needs to get it set up. But she is able to do, Spiral Arrow into her Oki setup and just the strike throw over and over and over again. It's a lot more solid than Rashid's, and just negating the Fireball just hurts him so much.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, yeah. So, I agree. I from what I can theory up, I don't see him winning that one.
Not to mention the dive kick and like her great air combos and everything. I just don't think he has a great time with it.
But can't be all of us. Let's take a gander here. We now have Lily to think of.
So, I've been thinking about this one today because I wasn't entirely sure. They both kind of go for a similar thing where knock you down into some type of like charge setup, whether with her she gets stock so she can get her set up later, which can be beaten by Drive Impact. She's like notoriously one of the weaker characters because you can't just throw it out there if they know the matchup really well. But she does have her buttons are good. Her buttons are really good against him. And she can do what he wants to do. It's kind of bad to say, but a lot easier than he can. But ultimately, I think it's an even matchup.
I can see that. I don't know too much about Lily. There are a couple Lilies at my local that I fight occasionally that are really good. Much
like Rashid, or I'm sorry, much like Jamie can get her win condition simply by, getting a stock, and she's very simple, but she's also extremely effective. And I think I don't think she needs buffs. I think she's just a very, very simple character and has a very, very, very effective game plan that she can initiate pretty much at any time. With decent neutral to like keep that at bay and wait for that moment to strike.
Yeah, it's not so much that Lily is weak; it's that the other characters have tools that she doesn't have, or options that she doesn't have that make them so incredibly strong.
Yeah, she has a hard time setting up shop, much like Rashid in some matchups and everything. But a very effective game plan. And ultimately, I think like she has an easier time setting up her game plan more than Rashid. But the fact that she doesn't have an invincible reversal with her EX. Her EX like Dragon Punch, uppercut is not real. It's a great anti-air, but it's actually not a reversal. So it's a really wonky matchup, but I'll say it's even.
Okay. And finally, the Red Cyclone himself. We've got Zangief, Z-Man.
This is a weird one.
Is it? Because I feel like it's pretty cut and dry as, not really. Rushdown v Grappler, or character with Fireball v Grappler. Sure, he's got like a lot of armor and like he's got
Which
Cyclone
gets eaten up by
anti-air.
Cyclone. Yeah, it gets eaten by a Whirlwind. I do think ultimately like Rashid wins it, but there are some surprising answers from Zangief that make him really good. The fact that Rashid's pressure is in neutral when it comes to like just button to button pressure, it's really hard to get anything super duper initiated in that close range because the classic Zangief thing is that know the character, know when their block string ends, and if I try to throw like a medium punch, crouching medium kick, which is not real, then he scoops me.
Yeah, and that's a third of your health bar.
Yeah, and a good defensive Zangief who's making the right reads and everything. You block my stuff. What am I getting? Jab, jab, whatever. I'm in his range, to be scooped and everything. But ultimately, I've got a billion different ways I can play this matchup and win it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that Rashid wins it. There's just some surprising answers.
Okay. And so, with our limited knowledge and not a single tournament underneath any of our belts.
Nope. Week 1, baby.
Week 1. This is the definitive Rashid matchup chart. But should we change it? Should it be advantage or should it be wins, goes even, loses?
Yeah, let's like say Rashid wins, Rashid it's even, then like Rashid loses. So it's a little bit more clear.
So there we go.
There we go.
This is fluff content. No one cares.
No.
But it was fun to do regardless, and I like thinking about the game in some abstract ways and really, trying to dig into the nitty-gritty of it as we learn and we grow more together. And
so he kind of sits, and I just wanted to break it down to see like where he would sit at the once the dust settles, and he's about where I'd expect him to be, which is like I would say a healthy A tier.
Yeah, definitely. He's up there. I think he might be like our first gatekeeper type character. I think he's got a lot of good strengths, a lot of solid weaknesses, but nothing exploitable that makes him just unplayable or ungodly strong. Some of these, I definitely agree. Well, I do want to see how these develop again. It's only week 1, and we do. Have
there's some like Manon, which again I would have to see it kind of played out in my head, and like I've played some matchups. I'm like, it seems like I'm winning this a lot easier, but we'd have to see. I think even Honda could change. I think even like maybe one of those characters that goes even could go up. I
definitely want to see. I want to see the Manon matchup. I want to see the Blanca matchup, and I want to see the Cammy matchup a little bit more. Yeah. Honorable mentions to Chun-Li, just because of, again, that character's so underdeveloped, so underutilized that I think it would be necessary to really try to get someone who really knows what they're doing on that character to really like bring out the full depth of the matchup. But all in all, fantastic list. I appreciate your insight on that, Justin. Good shit.
Yeah, lots of studying, lots of matches, whether it's against the CPU or like against a human. Lots of interesting answers to them. And the thing I have to say really about like this game as a whole is that I do not have any nerf or buff ideas for anybody.
As far as balance goes, this game is actually one of the most balanced games I feel on release, which I very much appreciate. No character feels impossible to win with. Everyone has their own defined strengths and weaknesses, so that is a very good thing to consider moving forward. And I don't really have ideas for buffs or nerfs either, but man, I'm not really trying to think of any, to be honest, because it's not. It's far too early. But
let's wait till Evo and when Modern Rashid wins, and then we can say CRP.
And once Modern Rashid fights a slew of Jury and Ken. We'll kind of know where to kind of stand. So
as of right now, when it comes to that topic, do I think Rashid could win Evo realistically? My final answer on it, maybe as a pocket.
Definitely, especially if you're going by Lord Knight's like 3 character pick, or like a speedy character, a defensive character, and a mid-range character. Definitely think Rashid would be like your speedy character if you want to do that. Yeah. If you're going to tournaments. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us for this tier list, and those are our thoughts. Woohoo!
There we go.
Or whatever. So I saw some people saying people using modern controls shouldn't be allowed in tournaments. Oh yeah, I mean that argument's been going on since like the game came out. But you know what the answer to that is? It doesn't matter what we think, because Capcom said that they're tournament legal. So,
that's not changing. That's not
changing. The CPT rules state that if you want to be a part of the CPT, you have to allow modern control users. Modern control is here to stay. And honestly, it's not that bad of a thing. Like, again, accessibility in fighting games is not bad. I do think there are better things that we could do outside of motion controls to help people get onboarded to fighting games. Yeah. But that is a different topic for a different day once I have more written down. So, Justin, what are your plans for the next rough 30 minutes or so, maybe hour?
Well, right now I do have plans, and I'm gonna bounce right after this this video and everything.
All right. Well, I was gonna say we're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm going to get to gaming. I think we're just gonna stay on. I think we're staying on Street Fighter 6 tonight. It's been a while since I've played some, and I think it would be nice, unless I feel like playing something else, maybe some Pseudo Regalia or who knows, just something lighter. Yeah, I think I might play Pseudo Regalia instead. I'm not really feeling the urge to press buttons right now, but yeah, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Justin, I appreciate you joining me for the talking part or portion of the stream. Really appreciate your insight. Always a pleasure talking.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine.
And I hope you have a good night. You enjoy your plans. Everyone say goodbye to Justin.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Justin. Thank you
I'll
for
see
everything.
I'll see you on the airwaves, brother.
Okay. Au revoir.
Peace.
And there he goes. Truly the man of the hour. One of my favorite people to talk fighting games with. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. I am going to get Pseudo Regalia started, and we are just going to take it from there. So let me go ahead and close this. Justin is always good company. I agree with you. Justin is always good company. Just really quick before I go on break, tomorrow I am planning another stream after I get off work. I'm going to be playing DFO, Dungeon Fighter Online, with my good friend Logan. So I hope you all are ready for that. Let's go ahead and go to our BRB screen here. Yeah, we're going to be playing DFO for the first time. We're going to check out that game because it looks kind of neat. And, you know, I like to see where Dungeon Fighter Duel came from to see what it's about. But yeah, that will be for tomorrow's stream. And we'll probably think of a couple other things to chat about as well. But I am going to go get some water. We're going to enjoy a Metroidvania that I have gotten recently by the name of Pseudo Regalia. It came out just a few days ago, and I have fallen in love with this game. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So let's get ready to sit back, chill, and play Pseudo Regalia. I'll stay around the rest of longer. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the tasty gameplay once I return. So we will be right back. Go grab a snack, and I'll see you here. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I have some food. Thank you for the warm welcome back. So, how do you guys feel about Metroidvanias? Because I think they're pretty neat. What I've got here for you is a independent Metroidvania by the name of Pseudo Regalia. It was made by, my first one was Symphony of the Night, so I had a pleasant starting experience. That is true. Symphony of the Night is a great place to start. Maybe one day we'll watch it on stream. But this game was made by a developer named as Ritzler. I believe it was just one person. That was originally for like a demo collection or stuff. And they ended up finishing the game because it got such good reviews from everyone. So this is the product of that. And I have been obsessed. This game is fantastic. So it's got some of the best movement in the ever, honestly. The game is mostly focused on its movement and the puzzle solving using the movement. Excuse me. Combat is very light, which I do appreciate in some games like this. And lastly, it's pretty fucking challenging as well. But also, the graphics are a big selling point for me because it's got the PS1 style graphics, which we're about to see right now. So yeah. This is the game. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. The soundtrack is also 100% original. They got together with some music artists to make it. Or it feels like a transport to Mega Man Legends, right? I love the work that was done on this game. I actually have a really big soft spot in my heart for PS1 like graphic games because it's one of my favorite eras of games. Just the art style and the art direction from PS1 games was so vastly different and like limited. I think it's kind of what people feel for pixel art, but I feel for, I don't know what you would call it particularly, but this is fantastic to me. Absolutely adore this game. I've made some progress on it already, mainly just playing in my own spare time. I've got a couple of the power-ups, so I have the 128-bit. I think that might be it. I think it might be called the 128-bit. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look it up. Well, games like this are like early Nintendo 64 stuff, like Mystical Ninja Goemon or Quest 64 or, you know, anything like that. Those are definitely an era of game that I have a lot of respect for and love for. This boss is so good. Yeah, Ape Escape is one of them too. Medieval, Mega Man Legends, etc. So, I've gotten a couple of the power-ups. This one gives me a wall kick up to 3 times. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was actually just reading that because it's the first time I actually read it. Yeah, this gives me like a wall kick. Off topic, I was going to ask if you'd be interested in some tabletop sim later this week. Into Boss Monster. Potentially. I'm pretty full up this week with some projects and stuff because I have a stream with Logan tomorrow, and then Thursday I have locals, but I'll be coming home early for locals because Baldur's Gate 3 releases that day, and I am playing that with Kat and some friends. So I'll have that on Thursday. Friday, I don't have anything in particular planned, but also Evo starts this weekend. So, like, I'll be watching Evo. That's okay, I'm dropping $120 on stuff. Ooh, yeah. No, that's fine. But I do have Tabletop Sim. We can definitely plan for that probably maybe Sunday. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, maybe Sunday. If not, we can try on Monday. Either way, but we'll plan it out. We'll plan it out. I feel like anyone with a Steam account has a tabletop sim. I'd like to think that too, but like, you know, some people just don't. Oh yeah, and I need to get with Justin sometime to play the Final Fantasy trading card game because that stuff was fun. Oops. Oh. I don't know if I've been here. I think I've been here. Video games on Dead of Winter, Boss Monster, Pokemon Master Quest. I've seen the Pokemon Master Quest game. It does look fun. Oh, hey, I think I can get up there now. Hey, we can. I love the... Ooh, what is this? What is this? What is this Garrymon looking stuff? This game got a full release. Yeah, it's a full release right now on Steam, and it is $6. So you have an extra $6, pick this game up. It's so worth it. It looks like a missing Gmod texture, doesn't it? What's the story? I am slightly unfamiliar with it because I accidentally skipped the first cutscene. So, hold on. Can I get to the store page from here? Here. I'm sure the store page will tell me. Okay, so the About says, when reality feels like it's falling apart, one might retreat to a world in their dreams to escape it. Unfortunately, dreams aren't made to last. Explore a perverse image of noble living. Grow strong and free those trapped within its rotten dream. A game originally made for the Metroidvania Month 19 Game Jam, this extended version brings new areas, enemies, story, and a visual overhaul, all while retaining the original dreamlike atmosphere. So yeah, deep within the realm of sleep, Sybil finds herself pulled into a distorted castle, growing strong and unlocking new abilities to build up a deep movement system, fight enemies, find secrets, and free the weary souls of Castle Sansa in this retro 3D-inspired platformer Metroidvania. So yeah, we're here to save everyone in this castle, because they're all like little goat butlers. Well, that's because it is mostly abandoned. Oh, hey, a power up. Oh, fuck you. Oops. Here we go. Strike break. Hold attack until your weapon is ready to release. Release to strike. A more powerful attack that locks you in place can be used to destroy heavy barriers. Oh, okay. So just a charge attack. Got you. Well, that's the first time I've seen that, so I'm not sure. Oddly gives me some Catherine vibes. Yeah, with the goat motif or the sheep motif and the heavy emphasis on dreams, I can see why. Which I should play Catherine. I have it. I've been wanting to for a while. Oh yeah, this little dude is invisible. I have no idea what he says though. Yeah, that's my first time seeing a strong wall. Fun bit, Catherine was just an engine test for Persona 5's engine's pre-production. That's neat. You know, I'm considering playing that Persona 3 remake that's coming out. I'm considering it, but I haven't been sold. I haven't really been able to make it through a Persona game, so like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to start or not. Those games are very long. I did play Persona 4 on stream on Twitch some time ago, but it hasn't been recently. It is my first game. You know, I love Thieves. You know, the Aesthetic 3 is my favorite story-wise. Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about 3, so like, you know. And the remake looks great. Has some glaring story issues. So I've heard. I've seen a playthrough of 5. So like, I'm semi-aware, but like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a boomer or anything, or, you know, like a hipster, but like, the massive popularity of 5 kind of turns me off of it a little bit, which is probably is for the Persona series as a whole. Because, like, when I like things, I do like to talk about them with people that also like the thing. But Persona fans seem insufferable. And I just don't want to... I don't want to be with it, you know? With your own group of friends? Fair. Fair and valid advice, but, you know. People will people. Oh, I don't need to be here. I just came from here. I think I need to go back to the underbelly, but I don't remember where the under. Well, there's an easier way for me to get to the underbelly. I think. Oh, so that's what those brought up. Okay, cool. How many hours of this do you have already? I have about 6 hours total. The game is actually not very long, so there is that to consider as well. I believe I'm almost done with it because I think there's 5 of the big keys over there on the right, so I do need to get just a few more of those. Okay, that's not counted as a strong barrier, which is fine. There we go. So I just thought of something. An area that I haven't been to in a while. And I wondered what we counted as strong doors. Oh, that didn't work. You know, old game I'm planning on playing through the East games. East has always been a series that I have wanted to get into, but I have never put the time in order to get into yet. Well, you know, let me go the other way that I know that I need to go. Hold on. Aha! This, can I? Okay, no, not that, but there is like a wall thing somewhere else that I know I can destroy now. I just have to remember how to get there. There is no map to this game. Where is that? How do you heal when you take damage? So you see that white bar to my left on my screen? If I hold the B button, she'll channel for a bit and she'll heal up for a certain amount. You can increase the amount by gathering good graces, which are these green orb things that you can find around the world. But yeah, that's how you heal. Or you can simply hit a crystal. The crystal saves your progress and it'll heal you to full. Now there's a place called like the something library, which I have to remember how to get to. So we're just finding, yes, just by hitting things you'll fill up the meter. Like when I whack these little eggies, my meter goes up. And then I build it up, and then I use it on heals. Any boss fights? I have heard that there are boss fights. I have not encountered any myself. That may be a problem with me, though. Oh, you know what? This is the first area you start in, so maybe I can actually... I think there are actually things here that I can get. Yeah, I have no idea who Strong Eyes is. This big enemy attack reminds me of Ico. Yo, I remember Ico. I never finished Ico, but that game was great. Damn shame there's nothing up here. I got stuck at a couple parts because I kept underestimating how long the lady's reach was. That makes sense. I remember the lady. That game cheated, so it's like, it's not your fault. Where is... Not that fancy footwork. The movement in this game is so satisfying. You really feel like you'd be doing something. Oh yeah, I can't actually punch these, can I? Okay, I can't. But there's gotta be something that I can do to open those. Me and Shiva found out we can both queue for solo mode and deceive and fight each other yesterday. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. She summoned a plate. She wanted to kill me. Oh gosh, okay. Got a little hairy there for a moment. I forgot to do the thing. I've seen Breaking Bad, I know how deadly a plate is. So true, especially when they can fly. Why am I like this? Why am I so bad at this video game? Damn it, damn it, damn it. I'm nervous, I'm in front of people now, what is this? Been playing this game fine, made this up 1,000 times. Performance anxiety. So true. I think this is the right way. Oh yeah, yeah, so Sybil actually has different outfits. Oh, okay, hold on, because I took the thing off. There's an option for give Sybil pants. So, in the attire, you can have just her basic vest, which this is her original design. I think it's cute. Goddamn, she got the dumpy though. Lord in heaven. Then we have the Sun Greaves, which you get pretty early on, which these have some cool leg armor to her, which I really like. It's very nice, very touching, very fitting. Still shows off the cake too. There's gonna be art for this, curious or not. Oh yeah, no, people have already drawn. Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of art, but I've seen some art. The one that I had on recently, this is an unlockable one that you can find in the world. This is called Professional, which I think I like this one the most so far. I think it's really good. And then finally, the one that you get when you give the pants, you give her these big pants, which also still look really good on her. So yeah, you have options to dress how you want. I want to see a pants % speed run. Yeah, basically. Bell bottoms, so. So let's see if I can find this area that I've been looking for. This is not it. Well, it just came from there. It's been so long since I've been to the listless library that I forgot where. Oh shit! I forgot where it is. Now I know that the map or that this game is not very large, but I still would appreciate a map of sorts. I feel like in most Metroidvanias, a map is appreciated, but it's clearly unlisted. True, so true. I just hope I can find my way back to that library. Where does this go? Oh, this is a Sansa Keep. Well, maybe Sansa Keep leads to the library. Maybe. I think that goes to the underbelly. I'm not trying to go there just yet. But maybe I need to. Wait, this doesn't, yeah, this goes. Ah! Okay, well fuck it, we're going to the underbelly, I guess. This game does atmosphere so right. Because the music be scaring the piss out of me, child, let me tell you. Gotta make sure there isn't anything missing. It's so scary here. Where does this lead? Hold on. Okay, well, we can't destroy those. Where did this go? Okay, I've been here. Man, this place gives me the fucking creeps. Hey, a health piece. Alright, we get 3 of those, we get another health. Kinda reminds me of the secret lab theme from Undertale bit, when the drums are rolling. Yeah, oh god, I remember that part of Undertale. What a... Man. Again, what a way for a community to ruin something so good. Undertale fans are actually not good people. Well, I should say Undertale fanatics. As someone that had the Naruto ruined by the fan base, oh, I'm sorry. I know how you feel. I disconnected from the Naruto community very early on once I realized how bad it was. Where does this fucking lead? Oh, this is fucking Bailey again. Oh my god. I don't know where I am. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on, this is good. Because... I know for a fact... Don't like people ruining things for me. I feel that. I should honestly take a page out of your book and delete these hoes. Just delete them, get rid of them. Always ruining my shit, always ruining my fun, always ruining my time. Where does this lead? Oh, this leads to Psalm to keep again. And that, where does this lead? That leads back to the underbelly. I have to be getting close, because I'm eliminating some steps. Either most when your prominent emotion is anger, but I know that's not everyone. Fair. I'm oft not that angry. Man, where is the... Oh... I have to find the library again. It's a necessity at this point. Because I remember there were these big wooden things that I could not destroy. But I think I can destroy them now. Gotta return that book on true. I've got me card. I've got me library card. I've got to return the book before my mom has to pay the library fine of 25 cents per day. Should be livid. Yep, I'm back here. Okay, so hold on. Where does this lead? Wait, where is this? Where is this? Please be... this will do. This will do. Hold on, because I haven't been this direction in a minute. Oh, wait, we're just on the other side of that room. Never mind, this won't do at all. The theater's on the western side of the castle. Is that west? Is that where you considered west? I can't find out what direction anything is. Wait, that's back to the thing. The left of the side in the middle, so I'll call it west. Okay, that's fair. That is a western direction, I'll admit. So, I don't think it's to the east. I don't think. It might be. Hold on. Oh! Here it is. Here it is. Yes. Thank you. Somebody has a fucking sense of direction in this fucking game. So I do have this key to use as well. Can I just use it here? I can. Oh, there's a door over there. Oh, hey. Clear mind. Like all three to hold more magical power. Oh, cool. Hey, another health piece. Not terribly hard. That's fair. How am I supposed to get out of here? Okay. How the fuck am I supposed to get? Oh, he's so good at the video game. Ooh. Not gonna lie, I think it was gonna get out of this one, Chief. Okay, and now if I can just find the other door. Because there was a door with some wood on it. I think it was through here. Yeah, there it is. Can I destroy this now? I can't? Oh. What power is this then? I don't think there's much else I can do here. Gmod walls, yeah. That's like my fucking source missing walls. Oh wait. Is this just what's on the other side? Oh, it is. I don't even need to be here. Because this is where the sun dreams were. I don't even need to be here. I'm such a fool. How do I get out of here? Yeah, I mean, fair. I've been here twice, and I haven't gotten the big key from this area. I know there's going to be a big key from this area. Little eggies. Little eggies. Yeah, this is back to the beginning. And then I've already gotten the treasure from there. Just use the key to get that. Yeah, this place actually kind of seems like it's tapped out. We'll have to see. Well, I guess the underbelly is the only other place I don't think I've fully explored. But that's scary. It was more like a barn than a library. True. I agree. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be back to the underbelly with us. Was there nothing else in the direction we got the powers? No. They usually lead to pretty definitive dead ends or like loop back around. And I've off screen I've been through those paths a lot. So unfortunately there isn't really much for me to explore there. So truthfully the next thing is well, the Bailey. Yeah, the Bailey and the underbelly. Well, woohoo! In about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, it's okay. In about 10 minutes I'm gonna, well, in about 5 minutes, actually, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. It's about 11:30, and I don't have to go to bed early tonight because I actually work pretty late in the day tomorrow, and I don't work very long. But I would like to try and get some sleep. Maybe get that video edited for Justin and I Talks or something, and maybe do some wanna hang on my voice? You got a crash? Maybe I will test how I feel. Like I said, I might get some video editing done as well. And I don't know how I'll do with all those voices in my head. But if you guys are somewhere that I can be, I will pop in if I do feel up to the challenge. Who knows? I might stay up a little bit longer to play some video games for a little bit. Because I haven't been able to really do that this week. Oh, well, I mean, did I play anything yesterday? I don't think I did. Oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate that I'm always welcome, but also just if I can physically get into the play, you know, I'll have some locked rooms. Some locked rooms. So, but yes, yeah. If I can muster the energy after the stream, then I'll definitely pop in and say hello. I think I've done everything in here too. Oh, touch the acid. Hello, my beautiful. Hello, friend. You came in time for the end of the stream, because we're gonna be. Oh wait, hold on. It's cat. Yeah, I figured. Not many of my friends call me beautiful. Damn. Okay, yeah, I'm just not getting up there. Man, what do I need to do for that? That's fucking weird. Is it up there, maybe? I don't know if I actually finished all of this or not. Okay, hold on. We're gonna try and see if we can get up there before I stream. It won't take very long, just a couple minutes. Well, okay, it might take a little longer than I expected if I fucking have that kind of movement. Oh yeah, Kat. I did promise that I would hear your story, and I do want to still hear your story. So I will see you in a few moments. I didn't forget. I promise. Okay, you know what? Hey, it's been a great stream, everyone. I really appreciate everyone for coming out and having a good time. Please be sure to follow me on all forms of social media down in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It is free. If you want to directly support the stream, donate. There's a donation link in the description box below as well. I have been your host, Ducky Please, and I am very good at video games. Yeah, you all have a good night. Watch this game. This stream is over. Stream is over. The stream is over. You can't see me anymore. Yeah, because the stream is shutting down. The stream is shutting down. Okay, bye. The stream is shutting down.